$0. That's what most people have left over after paying their bills every month. But what if I told you that the same zero could become $5,160.71 in extra cash flow without a raise, a side hustle, or cutting a single expense? I've used this exact method to pay my own $300,000 mortgage in under 3 years, and I've had viewers do the same without ever speaking to me directly, just from watching these videos. In this video, I'm walking you through the real numbers, income, expenses, debts, all of it, and showing you exactly where that $5,160 figure comes from. No extra income, no sacrifice, just moving money differently. First of all, in order to pay off our debt, we need to know our numbers, and that's why we need to build a budget. So step one, we list all of our income sources, and then we list our expenses and then our debt. We need to separate our expenses and debt, as these are two different things. Here's why. Expenses are mandatory. They don't go away. So even if we're completely debt-free, food, gas, insurance, that's going to be there no matter what. Debt, on the other hand, is temporary. It's something we're actively working to eliminate. And most people confuse this because we live in a country where debt does feel permanent. It feels like it's just a part of life, but it's not supposed to be. So we treat expenses and debt differently because one of them is permanent and one of them is not. Now, since we're focusing on debt, we need to include every single debt as its own line item, not lumped together, each one listed out on its own. So in this example, we have 10 credit cards that equal to $164,000 in debt and an auto loan of $22,000. Now for expenses, we can lump those together because all we need is a monthly average, since we're going to pay those every month, even after we're debt free. And here's the thing, even if we paid off every single dollar of debt today, these expenses just don't disappear. So food, gas, insurance, that stays exactly the same either way. So this budget right here, this is our baseline, and that is what we're working with no matter what. Now we're going to show how traditional banking is actually hurting you, not helping you, and why we use an alternative called the velocity method. Here's how it normally works. Whatever's left over at the end of the month goes into your checking or savings account. It feels safe. It feels responsible. But here's the truth. It does absolutely nothing for your debt. The way we're taught traditionally is get paid into a checking account, pay our bills, including our debts, from that checking account, and make the best effort to keep as much money sitting in our checking account as possible, even if we're not debt-free. That money just sits there. Meanwhile, your debt is still sitting there too, racking up interest every single month. So instead, we're going to introduce a different tool, a line of credit. And this is key. A line of credit is not a one-time loan, it's revolving. That means as you pay it down, that available credit opens back up and you can use it again. Now, here's the main difference between traditional banking and the velocity method. We're deliberately treating our checking account as zero because it's not a place where we're going to hold money. So here's the reframe. Instead of saving zero, because for most people that leftover number is basically zero anyway, you're going to deliberately route your money through a line of credit instead. That one shift is what sets up everything we're about to do next. By the way, if you want me to run these exact numbers on your own budget instead of just watching mine, that's the first thing we're going to do inside our coaching program. Links in the description if you want us to map yours out. Now that we've got every debt listed out separately, we're going to run each one through a simple formula. It's called the cash flow index. It's the debt amount divided by the monthly payment. That's it. This tells us how efficiently each debt can be paid off using this strategy. So we're going to run this across every single debt that we have, each credit card, the auto loan, all of it, and then rank them from lowest to highest. Now, here's the move. Anything with the cash flow index under 50, we're going to move into the line of credit. In this example, that's our $164,000 of credit card debt. So watch what happens to those minimum payments when we move that debt into a line of credit. These minimum payments drop straight to zero. Now let's go back to that number from the very beginning. $0 left over every month. Same income, same expenses, nothing extra earned, no side hustle, no raise, just by moving where that debt sits. That zero becomes $5,160.71 in monthly cash flow. That's the flip. That's the entire strategy in one number. So that's the entire flip. Same income, same expenses, and the only thing that changes is where the leftover money sits every month. $0 became $5,160.71 in cash flow without earning a single extra dollar. If you want help figuring out what your own numbers would look like, click the first link in the description and we'll walk through it with you. This video is for educational purposes only and is not financial or investment advice. Results vary based on your own numbers and execution. I'll see you in the next one.